is up, Bookish Besties? So I've already filmed this video actually, and then I realized something by the time I had already edited the video, and now I have to refilm this. So this is going to be the top 25 books that I want to read in the year of 2025. I have 3 sections. One is thrillers and mysteries, the other is fantasy, and then the last section will be romance. So I'm going to start with the thriller and mystery because they are the smallest group that I have. First, we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. And essentially, this is a story about a young girl in high school decides to investigate a cold case from 5 years ago, and she finds some interesting things. And she might find innocence for a certain person within the case, and I think that's very intriguing. I know that there are 3 books to this series. Now, I don't know if the mystery will be solved in this one or I'll have to wait. I don't know. One of my best friends, she loves this book, so I'm very excited to pick it up. Next, I don't know. I consider this like a thriller. I don't know if it is. Dorothy Must Die by Daniela Page, and I've had this book for years. I used to be on Booktube when I was in middle school, and this I remember specifically being a book that a lot of the people that I watched liked. I'm very excited to pick this up. Next is a book that I got for Christmas from my friend Lindsay, which is The Shining by Stephen King. I've been wanting to pick up a Stephen King book for a while, and Ashlyn, I think that's how you say her name, I don't know. I will tag the booktuber that I'm talking about in the comments. If I said your name wrong, I'm so sorry. I love you, girl. You're one of my favorite people to watch. She loves Stephen King, and she has kind of introduced me to the world of Stephen King through her videos, so I really want to pick this up this year. Next, we have Raven Black by Anne Cleeves. I picked this up at like a flea market for $3. The only reason I got it was because the cover looked really cool, and I was like, okay, I want to read this book. I honestly know nothing about this book. I was supposed to read it last year, but then I got busy and I just didn't get to pick it up, so I want to pick this up this year. Last but not least, we have The Mangle Street Murders by M.R.C. Cassian. I think that's how you say his name. I got this book at a library sale. They were having get a box, fill it for $10. And they had almost all 5 books, but like the second book, so I had to order that one. Now I have the whole series, and I'm very, very excited to pick this up. To me, essentially, this sounds like a Sherlock Holmes and Watson story if Watson was a female. That sounds good. It sounds really good. Next, we're going to get into our fantasy portion of this, which I love fantasy. I want to get more into fantasy. I have never been one to read epic fantasy, which is something that I'm going to dip my toe in. But also, one thing that I do need to finish, the Throne of Glass series this year. I'm on Queen of Shadows, but none of those are on my list. First, we have The Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. And I love vampires, and people will look at me and be like, you're crazy, you're a Christian, why do you like vampires? I just do. Leave me alone. I love vampires. But I have seen the movie to this, which a lot of people frown upon you watching the movie before reading the book. I got it, I get it. But I really liked the movie just for the entertainment purpose. I don't know how well they portrayed the book to the movie, but it gave me the oomph to get the series and read it, and I'm very excited. Next, I also got this for Christmas, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I am ecstatic for this. I really, really wanted this, and first of all, cover, and then the inside, I love the design of the typewriter. I just love it. It's so pretty. Essentially, this is an enemies to lovers fantasy. I think it's more of a cozy fantasy, but I could be wrong about that information. Do not quote me on that. I haven't read it, so I don't know. The female lead, Iris, just wants to hold her family together, and I believe she sends a letter to her brother, and it slips underneath her wardrobe and goes to the main male character, Roman. I think that's how you say his name. He anonymously writes a letter back, and that is how the story goes. I need to pick this up as soon as I possibly can. Now this one, I'm not going to say the name of the author because I don't know how to say it and I will butcher this. So it's An Ember in the Ashes. I'm going to let you see it because yeah, that would be terrible for me. But your name is really pretty. It's really beautiful. I have seen this book circulating on Booktube for years, and I've been wanting to pick it up for years. I didn't have it. I just bought this a couple of years ago, I think. And I remember when Jesse the Reader read this book. Which is crazy. I think that was like 9 years ago. I don't even know at this point. After seeing all the booktubers that I love rave about this book, I really want to get into this world. Next, I want to continue the Traitor's Kiss trilogy with the second, The Traitor's Ruin. I need to refresh myself on the first book. I can remember bits and pieces of the first book, But in all honesty, I don't have the consistent storyline to get into this yet. I'm gonna have to refresh or maybe even reread. I might listen to the audiobook just to get a reminder of what's going on and then jump into this book. Next, I got these for Christmas and I wanted these so bad, but I'm gonna wait till February to read them. First of all, I can't read anything that's not Christian and non-Christian right now because I'm fasting. But I got the One Dark Window duology. Listen, as soon as my fasting ends, you best believe this right here. This is what I'll be reading. Oh my goodness. I've heard amazing things about this on BookTube, on Book Talk, on Bookstagram, anywhere you name it. I have heard some mixed reviews from certain people, but like overall, I've heard great reviews. So very excited to pick this duology up. Next, we have Legend Born by Tracy Dion. All I know is a Legend Born is a secret society and she's really pretty. That's all I know about this book. I do believe that this is a series. I know there's 2 books out right now and then I think a 3rd one's coming out this year, but I could be completely wrong on that sentiment. Yeah. Next, we have Legendary by Stephanie Garber. Listen, I read Caraval last year and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Like, I loved it so much. My lighting's changing because of the sun, okay? I'm using natural light. I'm so sorry. I really enjoyed it. And the first book is about these 2 sisters, Scarlett and Donatella. They have been writing to Caraval since they were kids because they've always wanted to go because their grandma told them stories about Caraval. And as they get older, Scarlett turns more into this like kind of serious child while Donatella is wild and their dad sucks. Scarlett is supposed to be getting married, but they get a letter from Caraval saying that they have been invited to Caraval. And Donatella decides to hop on a boat and go. So Scarlett has to run after her, and that's where the journey begins. It was so good. Highly recommend Caraval. And it's pretty clean. I don't remember much language at all. There's maybe some kissing scenes, but other than that, I don't remember a lot of bad things. It was pretty good. And yeah, I definitely need to pick this up. The last one for fantasy is A Poison, Dark, and Drowning by Jessica Clues. This is the second book to A Shadow, Bright, and Burning. I read that book maybe 2 years ago, and I still have not picked up the second one, which is dumb. I do not know if this is a duology, trilogy, or series. I could not tell you. The first book, like, I remember certain parts of it, but I could not give you a consensus of a synopsis. I really want to get into this series again because I remember really enjoying it. I think I even gave the first book like a 3.75 to 4 stars. So I'll let you know how it is. Then last but not least, we have romance. I love romance and I'm so excited. So first of all, we have Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I have a friend that loves this book and she's like, you have to read it. Abby Jimenez is her favorite author. I will definitely be picking this up in the summer. All I really know is it's a romance set in the summer. I don't know much about a lot of these books. All I know is they were recommended. So that's what I'm going off of. Next we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. I've heard so many good things about this book. I think this is a romance where they're just trying to give each other inspiration because both of them are authors, I believe. But I do not know the full extent of any of what I'm saying. All I know is the cover is really cute. I've heard great things and Jolie Reed says it's really good. So of course I'm gonna read it. Next we have The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This is a football clean romance, I believe. And listen, I loved Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, and that is immediately why I picked this book up because I loved her writing style. Practice Makes Perfect was probably one of my favorite romance books ever written. Oh my gosh, I loved it with a passion. I think I might even read this in February or March just because I love football. I watch it with my dad. We're Bengals fans. I'm so upset we did not get into the playoffs, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. I just think this will be such a fun and cute little read, and I need to pick this up as soon as I possibly can. Next we have Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I read 2 books by Lynn Painter last year. Better Than the Movies and The Do-Over. I think that's what the title of it is. The Groundhog Day one. I really enjoyed her writing style. I gave Better Than the Movies a 5 to 6 star because it was just so good. And then I gave The Do-Over a 4, I believe. So I'm very, very excited. And this is also young adult. Oh my gosh, is the glare, because I'm looking at the camera. I'm not looking at me, so I don't know what's happening over here. I'm gonna read this book and I want to buddy read it, and I have someone that I want to buddy read it with. I'm excited. Next, I don't think this is a romance. I honestly don't know. It's Kirsten Hanna's Home Again, and I wanted to read this book before I really got into her historical fiction, because I am one that I have not really gotten into the genre of historical fiction all too much, and I really want to get used to her writing style, so I decided to pick this up. And I think this is a relationship between a mother and a daughter with their struggles, and I think the daughter might be trying to find her father, but I could be wrong about that information. Do not quote me. You probably should do your research for yourself, because I that's all I got out of the back of the book. Yeah. Next we have A Drop in the Ocean by Jenny Ogden. I think that's how you say her name. I'm so sorry. All I know about this is it's a romance set in Australia. I love Australia. I want to go so bad. It's my dream to visit, which I'm trying to plan a graduation trip when I graduate college. So I'm very, very excited about this. Australia makes me so happy. Next we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter, and Haley Pham loved this book. I think it was her that loved this book. That's all I remember about it, and then I bought it. I was like, oh my gosh, if she likes it, then I'll probably like it, because I like a lot of the stuff that she likes. I just need to read this summer. I tried last summer. I didn't have the time because I was reading so many other books. So I definitely want to pick this up this year. Next we have In 5 Years by Rebecca Cyril. I read One Italian Summer last year, and I absolutely loved it. Oh my goodness. It broke me. I cried. I really want to get into more of her books. I really enjoyed her writing style. So I immediately picked this up, and since it's short, I could probably finish this in like a day or two. Maybe in like 5 hours if I did this for a 24-hour reading challenge, which I think I might do one before I start my classes again. So be maybe on the look for that. I don't know. Next is another summer romance that I want to get to. It is literally called Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. Her mother passes away and her husband leaves her. It's just a really sad time for her, and apparently her dog claims a man, like pees on a man and claims a man named Ethan, and it's a romance between them two is what I'm gathering. So I'm very, very excited, and apparently this is a clean romance as well. There is no spice. That is very exciting for me. So I want to find more clean and closed door romances this year. The second to last book is Attached at the Hip by Christina. Honestly, I'm not going to say her last name because I will butcher it. I have said her name before, but I just can't remember for the life of me how to pronounce it. This is essentially Survivor speed dating. If you know the show Survivor, I love Survivor. I've been watching it since I was a kid. And then I would speed dating, but I also think Bachelor in Paradise. That's what I get from this title. So Survivor and Bachelor in Paradise. I'm excited. The last book is set in Australia, of course. It's The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. This book essentially is about a man named Tom who comes back home, gets a job at a lighthouse, and he brings his wife to live there and everything. They have tried for a child, but they haven't been able to due to miscarriages and stillborns. But then I think a baby washes like on the shore, and I think they decide to keep it as like God's gift to them. My brain is like, there's alarms going off, because I understand you're like, oh, there's a baby. Where's the parents of this baby? Did they lose the baby, or did they put it in a basket and put it in the water like Moses? I need to know. I will be picking this up. But yeah, guys, that is it for my 25 books for the year of 2025. What are some of the books that you have planned on reading this year? And are you excited for the new bookish year? I have already read 3 books. I'm almost done with my 4th one for the year, and I'm just very, very excited for this year. There's a lot of exciting things going on in my life. It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a great year. I love you guys. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. If you don't, that's your own prerogative. We all have our own tastes, and you are amazing. Don't you forget it. Happy reading!